is that a thing with sitting in group with a rapist? Do they ever tell you honestly, like, I go back to my cell and I jack off to, you know what I mean?
Oh, those, and,
Or do you want me to finish saying
settle
it?
down, Gabe.
Yeah, that was a great...
You guys settle. You ask women questions, I'm going to ask fucking guy questions.
So they have to do sex journals, they're called, and they have to do X amount of sex journals.
Maybe you should call them something else. That just seems
Every week.
open to a lot.
Consensual sex journals. Yeah.
Okay, so they have to do these journals. They're like, it's really, a cognitive behavioral type therapy that's done where you would write your fantasy and then you would kind of work through it to try to come up with a healthier outcome.
It was like those books where you're like, the pick the door or pick your own adventure.
Choose your adventure. Yes, and it would have a series of questions that could walk you through various ways to kind of rethink your and work at consent, like making sure it's consensual and it had all the healthy appropriate boundaries.
Is there any way you'd have like a really old one that we could read
I
sometime?
don't have an old sex
She has
journal.
a stack of sex journals.
Well, or send us that we could read it later or something.
No, I don't have an old. I did bring my research paper, my grad school research paper.
Oh, let's read it.
But say it in a really soft, sultry voice if you could.
The efficacy of sexual offender treatment using minimal arousal conditioning. Are you interested in minimal arousal conditioning?
I'm minimally aroused at all times.
I don't even know what that means, but
Ask Mrs. Noah.
It's the use of rotting meat to decrease their deviant arousal.
wow.
And so they would, in these cases, carry around a jar of rotting meat. And when they experienced a stimulus that they didn't want to be aroused to, they would take a whiff of
That's a real thing?
a real thing.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you see someone with
Does that
a
work
jar
for
of
drug
rotted
addiction?
meat, even I just fucking whatever, fill your nose with Coke. So if you see someone with a jar of rotted meat, you'd think they're creepy already, but now you know the psychology behind it. It's even worse.
Yeah. They get good at doing it very, very discreetly because they don't want to draw attention to themselves.
They got meat baggies.
They got
Oh
little
my
jars,
God.
in their bags.
Ugh.